What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat. What's up? True Heel Heat. All hands is on me.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble, episode 192. You deserve it. I know. Discussing last night's AEW Dynamite for April 2nd, 2025, as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 57,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of AEW and Tony Khan. He is Jimmy Macram. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, ladies and gents. How the hell are you? Should be an interesting show.
Should be interesting as all. It's always interesting on a Thursday, you know, where we sometimes have different viewpoints. We sometimes share the same viewpoints, but we always do it in way different ways. So I always enjoy Thursdays talking to you, sir. But yes, we're here to discuss the Go Home show ahead of AEW Dynasty for All Elite Wrestling. So we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. Hear your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite from Peoria, Illinois, the Go Home show ahead of AEW Dynasty. Had a lot to discuss, a lot that went down last night, so we're going to break it all down for you, but we want to hear your thoughts. But the best way to show your thoughts off, the best way to have your comment highlighted on screen is with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. Just like the good brother here, Alexander Fitzgerald, who's starting us off strong. Thank you so much, Alexander, for the super chat donation. As always, we want to give you the mic so you can
speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Siobhan, what the hell is wrong with you?
You know what it is? It's the strongest B of all time. It's like 2 or 3 B's. Speak, bitch. Come on now.
Bitch, come on now. But yes, we appreciate you, Alexander. He says, thoughts on Booker T / Swerve and Vlad bringing up the receipts. Vlad said he wants to hop on a wrestling podcast to talk about this. Vlad on THH ? With the thinking emoji. I mean, I don't talk to feds. That's where I was brought up not to talk to the police, apparently. From what I hear about Vlad. But to answer the first one, we actually were talking about that before we went live, because you guys, I know, Alexander, I think you were in the chat on Saturday for True Hill Heat. We talked about it. I broke it all down with all the big quotes. There was a lot to kind of it took me like 5-6 minutes to break everything down, give the full quote of what Swerve said on Vlad TV with this interview that came out last Monday. Some other bits came out during the week, and then AJ Francis had his response to Swerve's comments talking about his WWE release on our good brother Adrian Hernandez Unlikely podcast, and then Booker T on his Hall of Fame podcast had a response to what Swerve said about criticisms towards WWE's treatment of black wrestlers, and Booker T kind of being a not so much a supporter always of other black wrestlers, and Booker T had some strong words about that. You do know the Swerve and Top Dollar part of the story, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, so to break down the whole Booker T Swerve versus Vlad type of thing, so I think I got the gist. I gave you the gist of what Swerve had to say about Booker, and Booker's response was basically that he's very disappointed in Swerve for going on Vlad TV. He says that he was given the opportunity to go on Vlad TV. He was asked to come on Vlad TV, and he turned it down because he knows that he is just exploiting the culture, and that he's a culture vulture and all this type of stuff. And then he then went on the whole diatribe on the Hall of Fame podcast where about what Swerve said about the lack of black talent on WWE PLEs. And he said, Booker T, I think I'm rewording it. I don't have the quotes right in front of me because I want to give a quick explanation here. He said the reason why there isn't any black wrestlers on PLEs as of late is because there aren't talented black wrestlers out there on the main roster right now. He says that, when he was wrestling, he was on every pay-per-view. He was on every PLE, but they ain't the same amount of talented black wrestlers as back in his day, basically, is what he said. As far as the Booker T versus Vlad side of things, Vlad TV came out after WrestlePurist posted the quote of what Booker T had to say about turning down Vlad. He came out with receipts that he did ask Booker T to come on Vlad TV, and that Booker accepted and was going to do an interview with Vlad. Then a couple of days later, Vlad, I think last night actually, Booker T put out his response with the rest of the messages where he said, "Oh no, I don't lie. I don't just be saying. I don't be lying. I did turn it down," and it was like, "Thanks, no thanks." But then Vlad also came out again and responded, was like, "No, you only turned me down after I was late. After I was late for the interview, and you didn't want to reschedule because you got in your feelings." Basically, I mean, I don't think Vlad even had to respond because the receipt that Booker showed basically said that you're a liar. You did not turn him down. You only said no after he was late for the original interview that you accepted. So it's still kind of like semantics that Booker was trying to correct more than the actual claim of what he said was right. He was not right because he lied. He did accept the interview on Vlad TV. So that side of it, I don't want to hear too much about that, but I do want to hear your thoughts on the the Swerve versus Top Dollar part of it first. I mean, I gave my thoughts on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast, where I think pretty much, I think that for everything involved, I don't think that Swerve should have even brought up or alluded to anything involving AJ Francis. I also think after listening to the interview and reading the quotes, I don't think that Swerve said anything in regards to kind of blaming AJ for the firing. He just said basically this is what he heard from other people. I don't think he should have said that at all, but I don't think that he said anything wrong directly about AJ. But I do understand why AJ feels like it's just a whole bad look. It's putting two black men against each other, and that's what Vlad TV usually does. So I that's my thoughts on the whole thing with Swerve and AJ. But I do want to hear your thoughts on that as well as the Booker versus Swerve. So the floor is yours.
Swerve should stop talking. Probably forever. Unless there is a camera on and it's going to be on TBS, you should probably just not speak. Every time Swerve talks, it typically does not go great. The Mellow thing from a couple of years back, you know how I feel about the his rap career, we'll say. I'm going to try to avoid calling him a coon because we could get very coon heavy if I just start calling everybody who deserves to be called a coon.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello.
So yeah, he should stop speaking. I'm team Top Dollar on this. Did he overreact? Yeah, he overreacted. But I understand why he reacted in the first place. As for Booker T, there's a couple ways I want to approach this. Now, part of me wants to say, if you're going to be a company man, which I disagree with in general, but I understand, I suppose, there are lots of ways you go about this. Number one, you could put this question off by saying, hey, well, you'll see in a few years when fucking Obafemi and Trick are headlining reviews, you'll see this Swerve won't have much to say then. He won't have much to say about that. You can say that. You can talk about Bianca. You can talk about a whole bunch of shit. Instead, Booker decided to go with the worst possible answer, which is what the fuck? I thought There Are No Talented Black Wrestlers was bad. And then to fucking big yourself up afterwards is insane. It's an absolutely insane thing to do. And it's a little ironic how similar I find Booker and Swerve, in which as long as they get theirs, they don't much care about anything else. It's gross. I don't want to get distracted. I'll get distracted if I keep reading these comments. Yeah, Booker is obviously in the wrong, and in the wrong. I don't know if in the wrong is the right word. Do we get demonetized for coon? I would imagine not, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's not considered a curse word.
I got to keep it above. I have to. Sorry, Booker. I love you. I love you. And listen, even if I don't necessarily disagree with your stance, this is coon behavior. What am I supposed to do with this? Why are you so comfortable saying this out loud? Why are these your thoughts? I don't understand. There are no talented black wrestlers. That didn't come out your mouth and you went, oh, wait a minute. Let me say that again. What the fuck is going on? I actually really bothered by it because I find the lack of, I don't want to say protection for Black wrestlers to be poor, but that would be in the forefront of my mind if I was to speak. Like, I gotta watch how I say. Booker T might be the most famous non-The Rock Black wrestler ever, and for that to come out of his face is jarring to me, and I'm a little bothered by it. Disappointed? I don't get disappointed, people, but whatever's really close to disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disappointed because I've known this about Booker for a while. I pulled back the curtain. You'll see tomorrow on the Wrestling's podcast. I pulled back the curtain over there, so of course I'm going to pull it back over here. But I used to do a podcast with Inside the Ropes, Kenny McIntosh channel, with Alex McCarthy and Sat Iniangi. And this was, I think, in like 2021, 2022. So this was like knee deep into Booker on the Hall of Fame podcast, which at the end of the day, Booker's trying to sell a podcast and he's going to say stuff that's going to get clicks, that's going to make people watch his podcast, which I understand and no fault against him. But this is very much into the Booker, very much defending like what Alexander said. Here he was defending Vince McMahon saying the N-word, and he was criticizing AEW for certain stuff. And I know for a fact that Booker does not watch AEW. He doesn't. He just doesn't. So I don't understand. I understand if your audience wants you to talk about AEW, that's what you're going to do. But I just didn't understand why it was just felt like he was just trying to undermine and put down AEW when AEW is something good for the business, something good for the boys, which you were a part of. So I basically, like you said, I said he was defending the company, but I used it in much worse terms, kind of how you talk about Swerve. I said he was an Uncle Tom. I said he wants to be in the house. He doesn't want to be on the plantation. He wants to be in the house with Vince. He wants to be in the house with Triple H. Despite all the things that they have done to him or how they treated him on camera, off camera, backstage, he wants to be in the house with them. And it goes even deeper. I found out other stuff like the lawsuit that was against WWE that was like other Black wrestlers, including his brother, which he went against. And that led to kind of a falling out between him and his brother that was eventually kind of resolved and stuff like that. But I said that, and apparently his co-host / assistant, apparently from these texts from Vlad, Brad, who does his Hall of Fame podcast with him, apparently he saw it, and he hit me up on a DM and was like, I don't really like, what you're saying about Booker. And he was like, oh, well, would you want to come on our podcast and want to say that to Booker? I was like, yeah, sure. When? Tell me when. Give me dates. And never got back to me, never happened. I think he was just trying to call my bluff, see if I was brave enough to say it to Booker. But I will say everything. I would lay everything out on the table to Booker, and if someone wants to clip this and send it to Booker, you can do that as well. I will lay everything on the line. Like, Booker T is a great professional wrestler. He is one of the greatest Black wrestlers of all time. He is really a part of my childhood. I grew up in Harlem. So the Harlem Heat was like my favorite tag team growing up. This was before I realized they were only from Houston. It should have been Houston Heat. But Harlem Heat was one of my favorite tag teams growing up. They were one of my favorite he was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. His rise through WCW made me keep watching post when WCW stopped being very interesting overall. But Booker getting the world championship, Booker's run as TV champion, he is a great professional wrestler. And everything that he did in WWE, he showed that he had range outside of just being a great in the ropes type of wrestler. He's a great performer. He's hilarious. And even times when he's doing commentary, I find him objectively entertaining, despite me feeling like he's not the best wrestling announcer. All of that to say, as a podcaster, I think he just says stuff to say stuff. And another reason why I don't think he's a very good wrestling announcer is that he's not trying to always put over the stuff that's in the ring. He's trying to put over himself. That's why you've had NXT wrestlers like Idris Enofe and Malik Blade, when they were a tag team prominent on NXT, they came out on social media and said that they don't have their family watch NXT with the volume up because all Booker would do is shit on them. Other Black wrestlers. Like, and this was Booker, a lot of what he does backstage coming to light on camera. But they didn't make it a big deal because Idris Enofe and Malik Blade weren't prominent and stuff like that. But I will lay that all out. I would say all of that to Booker. It doesn't matter when. If Brad catches this, he could invite me on again, and I'll be there to say all of this because I don't like the stuff that he does all the time. Booker T can be both things. He could be a great professional wrestler and a not so great podcaster.
What's the guy's name? Brad?
Yeah.
Brad probably stepped outside of his station and made that offer before talking to Booker T. Booker T shut down immediately. Yeah.
He was like, "What? He called me what? Called me Uncle Tom? Nah, fuck that dude."
No, that's when inviting him to the house. Well, fuck me and Stevie Ray here and the lights off. I don't want to invite this nigga anywhere. Always love that, by the way. You wouldn't say it to his face. Yeah, I would. Why wouldn't I? What's gonna happen? We'll fight. He'll win, and then what?
Yeah, I was like, I'll get my ass kicked if I say it to his face in public. I was like, what? I'll get my ass kicked? Okay, I'll sue him and I'll be paid. I mean, I'm willing to take that ass kicking.
Yeah, I didn't know about the backstage stuff with Booker. That's disappointing. I don't want to expose myself like Booker T, but we're all going to disagree on the Booker T Vince McMahon thing. Like, that's not Booker T's job. Booker T's not the booker. He's not the writer. You fucking do what you're told or quit. Yeah, you have to get a quit. Other than that, I have no interest in playing him for Vince. And the insane thing Vince wants to say. For insanity's sake, by the way. It's not like Vince was putting it across like a good thing. He's a nut. Legitimately. I love you, Vince. Well, maybe not so much anymore, but you know what I mean. Jesus. Booker T is well aware he's black. Don't do that.
I think he's well aware. He's well aware.
Yeah. Well, listen, nobody. We all disagree. We all agree on Vlad. I think. At least I hope we do. Vlad. I don't want. Yeah, cloud trade is probably a better word. Culture vulture's up there. Culture vulture's up there too. I don't know if he exposed anybody to the feds, though it's entirely possible. It's a little quinky-dink. Though, to be fair, a lot of these fucking, some of the Booker T, a lot of these people who go on there speak openly about things they've done and probably shouldn't do that. All things considered. Lastly, but not leastly, yeah, I don't think Booker T would. Somebody mentioned the 5-match PLA, which is on the higher end. Frequently, it's 4 for the Rumble and the Chamber, things like this. What Booker T said? Can we get to what he said? Can I get myself in trouble? Can I step into Booker T's shoes and say this a little whatever? Say this a little. Did he say black wrestlers? Like that's the exact quote. Do we know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's insane. Obviously. Now we're talking about black male wrestlers, which Booker T and Swerve fit into. Particularly those that are in a tag team. I don't want to be rude. I know you all love Mello. If we're not talking about NXT, Booker T isn't completely out of his mind here. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be fucking rude. I know y'all love Mello, but I don't see it. I said it once and I said it again. I know he's the number 1 draft pick. Let me say something. I want to be clear about this. Me and Mello are about the same height. 5'8". My sister, a couple years ago, or a year ago, when she saw The Rock come out to face Cody Rhodes, she looked at Cody and said, why is he so small? Like, she didn't understand how this guy was going to fight The Rock, right? That first draft when Mello shows up, Cody looks like a giant standing next to fucking Mello. On what planet is he on PLE's fucking beating up Randy Orton? Would you all stop it? Would you knock it off? I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be disrespectful. No, Dion, they're the same person. I hate to break the news to you. They're exactly the same guy.
Yeah, like you said it perfectly. They're the type of brothers. If they good, they're not too worried about everybody else. Like that's why I do agree with what you said. Like I am kind of team AJ Francis, because AJ has been nothing but a genuine, real dude anytime I've spoken to him. I've interviewed him here on the channel. He's actually reached out to me and wished me congratulations when I joined up with Sports Illustrated. He started following me after that as well. Like, he's been nothing but real and genuine to anyone that I've talked to within the wrestling media world. They all like AJ Francis, despite what y'all feel about him inside the ring. You cannot deny he's the type of brother that's going to keep it real, and he is going to look out for his people. And that whole story, which Swerve said and brought up, hearing the other side of it, I was like, we're getting the whole story. It's a he said type of thing, but we're getting two perspectives of the story, because Swerve is giving a perspective of what he heard from other people, while AJ is talking about his actual experience and what he did. So we're getting the full end of the story, unless Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon want to come out and give their side of the story, which will never happen. But this is as much of the story that we're going to get. And I respect AJ for going out of his way to ask about, Brie, B-Fab, and looking out for her when things was going wrong over there. And I totally agree with what he said at the end. This dude has been in the NFL. He didn't need WWE, and he's done very, very, very well for himself outside of WWE. Both times that he got released, he was fine doing work and doing shows and stuff like that the first time he got released, and since he's been released the second time, he's been making like gangbusters. He's worked with TNA Wrestling, he's worked with MLW, he's worked all across the independent scene. He's still doing music, still doing stuff in football, like. Dude, he's fine. He's perfectly fine either way. So that's why he has the carte blanche to go out of his way to defend the people that he cares about.
I fucks with it. I fucks with it a lot. He's one of my favorite people just from listening to that area. I could see myself in the spot. And I'd like to think I did the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. We do have a couple of super chat donations here for us to go to. We got Dion Jenkins. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. Always appreciate you guys. That's why we open our ears too.
Listen up, you prick.
He says, I'm not necessarily on Booker's side, but Swerve needs to stop running his mouth sometimes with AJ Francis and throwing shade at Booker. I only agree with part of it. I agree with the AJ Francis part of that. I do agree with what he said about Booker. He's just not the person to say it. No, we've run over all of this. He's just not the person that should be saying and bringing up that Booker isn't always on the side of other black wrestlers.
Oh, okay. I love that. Who the fuck are you? Vince McMahon calling Kanye insane. Excuse me? Huh? Dare you?
That's like Kanye telling Drake, you need to get off of social media.
You get out of your feelings.
Dion Jenkins with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Dion. You're always one of our big supporters here. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Dion says that was a shit statement from Booker. Booker wouldn't be on PLEs in this 5-match era.
2 world title matches, 2 women's title matches.
I mean, when was the last time the tag team titles were defended on a PLE?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you're not named Bianca, you better wait till Oba comes up. Sorry. It is what it is.
And I think it was AO of that used to be a part of Wrestle Purist. He came out and said he had the stat that it's been 976 days since a black male wrestler won a singles match on a WWE.
602. Where you get 970 from?
I thought it was 976. I'll look up the tweet again.
Yeah, so that's the part. I didn't get to listen to what Booker said. I got caught up on this nonsense.
He's like, that's what distracted me.
Yeah, he sent me the tweet. I went, Booker T said what? Hold on, let me read this first. You know what I'm saying? About Booker T. What the fuck's he babbling about?
He's like, what is going on here? I want to hear about Booker.
Yeah, a bunch of, we'll say, while you look it up, he's a bunch of fucking days since a black male singles wrestler won a match in the PLA. And I went, sorry, I got to disqualify the statement right away. There are way too many fucking qualifiers in this goddamn statement for me to take this seriously. Get rid of women. Go ahead.
So he said, reminder, it has been 976 days since a black man last won a singles match on a main roster pay-per-view. Reminder, it has been 605 days since a black man competed in a singles match on a main roster pay-per-view.
Yeah. Apologies. You're right. I read this tools, I thought it stayed the same. Yeah, get rid of black women because we're Swerve. We're going to get rid of tag team wrestling. We're going to get rid of just matches in general, and we're going to focus on PLE. That's too many qualifiers. I get you trying to make a point, but good Lord. Make it and get out of the way. You know those fucking stats. Spit it out. Get to your point. Sorry.
We got another super chat donation here from Alexander Fitzgerald. Thank you so much, Alexander. I've been telling Romeo that we need to upload this, but we would probably get copyrighted for it.
You don't know shit.
Alexander says Booker T's new theme is the Uncle Ruckus theme. Laughing emoji.
Oh boy. All right, you let me know if it's me. This is the and you feel this energy, right? This is good energy, right? Like from the people. I just find it interesting that it took Booker T to do it. I just find it interesting. It's an interesting thought. I didn't hear many this energy for Swerve from Fitz and the rest of them. But yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. You want to join me on the island? It's okay. Better late than never, I suppose.
I do agree with Chase. I've stood next to Mello at an independent show before he got signed with WWE. He's not 5'8".
No?
He's an Allen Iverson 6 feet. You know, it's like we're rounding up for inflation. He's my height. I saw eye to eye with him.
5'6", 5'7"?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you on a dating app? What do you put? 5'9.5"? 5'9.5"? Something like that. That's what happened. Triple H was like, I'll show him. Jesus. Triple H was like, I'll show him. It's my number 1 draft pick. Then he met Mel in person for the first time. Holy shit.
He was like, how you doing down there?
He was like, hey, Mr. Levin around. Who said that? Huh?
That would be gold, Alexander. Alexander says, if Vlad shows up on a podcast, I want him to show up on Cornette's podcast. That would be the most awkward podcast ever. That would also be the perfect one for him to show up on. I saw people tagging Cornette on his tweet when he said he wanted to go on one of the biggest wrestling podcasts out there. So,
that would be hilarious, first and foremost. I cannot tell a lie. I can't imagine what that would look like. What the fuck? Would he even know who the fuck Vlad is? Spent 40 minutes explaining who Vlad TV is.
We got our good brother Shadi in the chat. Good to see you. He says, definitely the same story, but AJ let us know the why in the story, which is really important when you put it in perspective. AJ got a decade career almost in the NFL. I'm sure his money is good. He can also get into NFL media if he ever wanted to. He really loves wrestling and doing it for the love. He also says, AJ got my respect as a battle rapper because he blends hip-hop into the world of pro wrestling, and he really did battle the saga, which is fire, laugh my ass off. So, yeah. Like I said, I got nothing but love for AJ Francis. I still think that Swerve is one of the best wrestlers in the world today, but I do understand, and I've never tried to like argue when you've roasted Swerve on several occasions because you do make valid points. You do it in a hilarious way that makes it harder to even argue against you. But it's also you do make valid points whenever you talk about it.
Oh yeah, Swerve is definitely one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's great overall as a wrestler. In the ring, he's decent on the mic. He's got great character work, and he comes across like a star on TV. He's also a coon. Like, what do you want from me? I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I wouldn't know it if he didn't tell us. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like I went through the files and fucking found shit. Like, you think backstage shit on Booker T. I don't know any backstage shit on Swerve. Everything I know about Swerve, he felt the need to tell me to put on Instagram or fucking doing a podcast. So why do I know all these things? And why are you proud of them? Please stop talking. Please. Much.
We got a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. You guys are awesome today. We appreciate y'all.
But don't push me. That's Tupac.
Chuck Berry says, "Yo, Jimmy, who is more unbelievable as a wrestler as far as looks? Carmelo Hayes or Adam Cole, baby?"
More unbelievable, so less believable. Adam Cole. He's not too much taller than Melo is, and Melo at least looks like he fucking spends most of his time in the gym and eating chicken breast and broccoli. Cole, even though he's in better shape now, come on now. Melo looks like he would be the star of a cruiserweight division somewhere. Cole, while talented, looks like a jobber. It is what it is. Sorry. Like Adam Cole too. He seems like a great dude, but I gotta call like I see it. Sorry.
That's fair. Yeah, Chuck Berry's made the correction, so that meant to say who looked less convincing as a pro wrestler.
Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah, come on, man. It's Cole. It's relatively easy.
We got another super chat donation here from our good brother Will Chisholm's here today. We appreciate you, Will. I always appreciate the support.
Niggas fight me, get over. Huh? Fair enough.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
That was Triple H right before we pushed Melo. I'll show them. Oh, god damn it.
Cody, stand next to him.
Fuck. Oh, shit.
I already said it was going to be the main event. Fuck it. Just go out there. Will Chisholm says Swerve snitch on Ricky Starks when he went to the Rumble and Booker T saw Ricky and said, "Oh, you half black. You one of the good ones." Holy shit.
Look at you.
What on super chat?
Jesus.
Holy God.
Man, I can't. That ain't that far off. Apparently, I can't believe this. You guys turn my fucking childhood down. I know this about Booker T.
This is a loaded statement right here, but I will say there is a difference. He says Vince less racist than Triple H, laughing emoji. Triple H has gone out on record and says he doesn't see color. Vince does see color. He just sees green. He don't see black, white, brown. He don't see any of those colors. He sees people that are green or not. That's it.
That's what he said. What do you want to do?
No, he says he sees talent.
Talent, yeah.
I think there's a difference.
Like who?
Someone could be talented and not make money.
Love that. Why are you siding with the suits? You should be siding with the artists.
I'm just saying. I don't think either one. I don't think either one's way of doing stuff is right. But I do think there is a difference between the two.
I have a question. Outside of, I'm not gonna deal with. What's the guy's name who made that tweet? AO something. Mm-hmm. I'm like AO. I'm not gonna add any qualifiers to my statement to lead you into the direction I want to lead you into. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. Outside of bringing anybody from NXT, who should we be pushing on this Negroes, male wrestling Negroes that aren't in tag team? Should we be pushing?
I mean, there is one, but he's in a tag team, but he should be a single star. Montez Ford.
Agree with that. That'd be my number one pick. He'd be my US champion by now, to be honest.
That'll be my number one pick. I think if you're not gonna if you weren't gonna push them after that heel turn, then you probably shouldn't have done the heel turn in general, and they should have probably been single stars, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Come on now, take it easy. To do what? Lose to Braun Breaker and add to that 900 something streak of fucking losing? What are we doing? Come on. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, what do you want me to do about this streak? Unless it's Mellow, which I don't agree with. I don't know what you want me to do about it.
That is true. There's not a lot of singles black wrestlers. They just pair them.
For my defense, you know what I brought up Oba like 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. You've been very adamant, and you know me. I've been calling for Trick Williams to get called up for the past year, basically. So we're both here. We're both trying to get these singles black wrestlers on these WWE main roster PLEs, and the stat that AO provided. It is the fact he also brought up the fact that the two people that are responsible for the win on a main roster PLE and the last time a black wrestler is on a PLE decided to leave the company. They weren't released. They decided to leave the company, and they're in AEW. Bobby Lashley and Ricochet.
I totally forgot about Ricochet in general, and I forgot he was black. Every time I've heard somebody say that, I go, Lashley and can't be Swerve. I don't know what you're talking about.
I do know the Ricochet one is SummerSlam 2023 because that's when he faced Logan Paul. That was the last time a singles black wrestler had a singles match on paper.
Well, I think we should have kept Lashley. I've said this, and if you don't want to push him, I feel like you should have did what you should have did with Edge. Random big matches on fucking TV. Why not? Lashley and Sheamus. Lashley and fucking whatever. Why is that an issue? Nah, I assume he gets paid a fucking boatload of money, but still. Fuck it.
I forgot that too was that reminds you this nigga still listen to Jadakiss in 2025. That don't remind you he black. We got Will Chisholm. We got Will Chisholm with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
You about to make it out of Mexican hole, sir? I mean, well, sort of.
To job to another Mexican.
Hey, we'll call it the Charlotte hole. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
make it out of the
that's
Charlotte
better.
hole.
That's
yeah,
better.
There you go. Good on you.
I think it was Chase that brought it up that Charlotte files restraining orders against usually her ex-husbands. So that's what it's been a non-official restraining order. The WWE just decided not to book them on the same show. Will Chisholm says, I did laugh when people act so shocked with Bobby Lashley, Black Champion's answer. I'm like, did y'all haven't seen Bobby in the past 20 years? LOL. Yeah, Bobby Lashley basically said the whole Swerve thing, what Swerve said about the black wrestlers, that he was like, he doesn't like the stigma of a black world champion. He's a former world champion.
I don't want to make this too social. Fuck it, we're already here. Just throwing Coons and Uncle Tom's out, we might as well. I don't think it's a coincidence that the biggest black stars ever, you throw The Rock in there, kind of avoid this terminology, because I do feel like wrestling inherently is kind of a selfish sport. It's just that white people aren't expected to stick up for other white people ever. Austin can just look out for Austin, as he will, and Hogan and Brett. Love you, Brett. Or you call him a grifter out of your fucking mind. He's wrong. He's out of his mind. But Brett is not a grifter.
He's not a grifter. He's not a grifter. He definitely does not watch AEW.
Yeah, but he might have turned it on once and saw Mercedes doing something with the puppet, and he developed his whole opinion about that.
Or he saw Timeless Tony Storm, but he got worked into
Oh
a shoot.
shit! Oh shit! That makes a lot of sense. You know they sent the Brett. You gotta see this.
I don't think Brett is a grifter. I will say it's not out the realm of possibility that WWE was like, hey, we'll throw in extra money if you say this about AEW too, if you want to criticize the current state of pro wrestling. I wouldn't put that behind him because he is getting a WWE check because he's going to be a part of the Hall of Fame, but I don't think he's a grifter.
Brett is out of his mind. He goes, I don't like people focusing on acting and
I love Roman Reigns.
I like guys like Roman Reigns. That is the opposite of what the fuck you just said.
The guy who everybody says cinema.
Let's say I don't think he's seen wrestling in at least 15 years. But whatever. Yeah, so it's not shocking me that Bobby, Booker, Swerve all kind of fit into the same fucking character. Selfish guy. That's what wrestlers, generally speaking, fall into. It's a selfish sport. Sorry. There's only so many spots.
Very true.
Not making up for them. Just saying.
Dion, Mello was in a triple threat with Andrade and LA Knight. I think they were. That's why he very much worded he worded it very well, where he said singles, and I was like,
didn't even count this.
Yeah, I was like, that was kind of weird that he didn't count that as a singles match because it's not 1-on-1. So I knew that was going to be the answer. I knew that was going to be the answer. So I was just like, you know what? Not even gonna acknowledge that. Mello was on Crown Jewel against LA Knight and Andrade.
What the fuck is whatever? All right, whatever. Let it slide. Love this. Who wrote that? It's a Brett quote. Triple H has no talent.
4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. That's my favorite Brett rant. It's when he's like, Triple H, 4 out of 10.
He's still so mad at this nigga and not at Shawn Michaels. I don't understand.
Because Triple H tried to take credit on all the documentaries. Like, it was my idea. I said, you know what? We should just, if you don't want to do business, we do business for him. And then he lied to his wife. He lied right in his wife's face. It's like, Paul, did you know anything about it? No, I had no idea.
It's insane. How many people taking credit for the screw job, by the way? We got to be at least up to 10 people at this point.
H, Cornette, Pritchard, Russo, H. Yeah, I said H already. Vince deserves credit. Shawn Michaels deserves credit. Earl Hebner deserves credit. Like, there's like 7. This is like a big conspiracy that involves like 7, 8 different people.
Yes, and it was everybody's idea. Like, I don't understand how this works.
Pat Patterson probably. If he was alive, he would still take credit. He would take some credit for it.
He'll take some credit.
No. Pritchard doesn't. Pritchard says he was surprised at Gorilla. He said he was surprised.
Okay. You would think that'd be most people's answer, huh? Yeah, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash think it's a work. Still, even though they're friends with H and Shawn Michaels. Those are some real,
nothing to do with that.
Some real life workers, but I tell you, by the way, they think everything's work. They're never getting worked ever again. Recipe Scott Hall.
I did, Big Man Dogs. I did see the Ludwig Borga freaking Dark Side of the Ring. Oh my God. I did not know this man was fucking a Nazi enthusiast and a right winger who became a elected government official in Finland. Oh my God. And then almost shot his wife or something like that. Like, yo, I was like this. I just knew him as the guy with the buzz cut. He feuded with American-made freaking Lex Luger in 1993. That's all I knew about him. When I watched Dark Side of the Ring, I was like, what the fuck?
Most interesting man in the world. It sounds like, holy shit. What?
He was Donald Trump before Donald Trump.
Insane.
We got one more super chat donation before we finally get into things. Thank you so much. Will Chisholm with another one here. We appreciate you, good sir. Take your time, brother. But thank you, Will.
Fucking Mark!
Will Chisholm says Willow was laying on the mat and Swerve acting for a black woman being hurt was as good as Punk saying I'm home. I mean, I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. I love you people. I love you people. Yeah, it was Swerve hugging and being concerned over Willow was if you've heard all the stuff that he said in the past, you would just like,
yeah. Oh yeah, Willow. Absolutely. What the fuck? You know, I was disgusted. My least favorite person, my favorite person. What the fuck is going on?
that's like a magical tag team. Ooh, that's a dream tag. No, we actually got one more super chat to get to before we get into the show from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He's making up for lost times. We appreciate you, Will. We've missed you.
Back, brother.
We've definitely missed you, good brother.
Weapon in hand, too. And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Kenny as long as they can. Hangman's going to come out here.
Steve Austin, huh?
Will says, Jimmy, what do you think about overseas fans hating black women? Swerve must have paid them all. God damn! Every one of Will's super chats has just been another insult or joke about Swerve Strickland.
You know, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I can't. First of all, have you seen Bianca? That's number one. Should be cheering her just off rip. And then number two, she's the baby face of the story. Yeah, she's the only one of these three get booed. It's a bit jarring for me. I'm gonna have to call you for how, like I said. You guys kind of have some.
I wouldn't say she's the baby face of the story. I think Io is.
Oh well, that's fair, I suppose. She's not the fucking heel.
No, Rhea's definitely the heel, but I would say Bianca's the tweener.
Though to be fair, Rhea's the most popular female wrestler on the planet. So
yeah,
what do you want to do? Yeah, there's definitely a racist involved. I won't call him racist. Yeah, sure, I'll call him racist. Fuck it, there it is. I was gonna try to clean it up, say it's race-based, not necessarily racist. Maybe it's a subconscious thing. No, we can go racism, sure. Fucking coons. Well, not coons. What do you call white racist? Just racist. Need a better term than that.
He said white. Like, no, they're just racist.
Nah, you need a better term than that. That would work for me. That would work for me, brother. It's not catchy. I'll sleep on it.
Think it over. Big Man Dog says they 100% see color. Like Triple H.
But it's like, I don't understand.
I was just looking around at people when I was in the O2 and they're booing me. I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? She didn't do anything. I mean, I did boo the double DQ. That's why I said I think she's more of a tweener than. Oh,
yeah, that's I like that match a lot. I like that show a lot. That finish killed it for me. I hated that fucking finish. That's a terrible idea.
That
just had
finish,
Bianca and Rhea start brawling.
This was a case of if he switched the open with the close, that's like a 9 out of 10 show.
What was the open? I don't remember.
Opener was Cena and Cody.
You know what? Yeah. You gotta choose the finish. Though. I hate the finish in general. Like, ill.
But I knew that was going to be the finish when they made Bianca the special guest referee.
Yeah, I don't mind
came up with another way to do the no contest.
Yeah, let's say I don't mind no contest. I understand we got to get to the no contest, but Bianca getting kicked by accident by Io, which is obviously a fucking accident, is insane. But after Rhea intentionally slapped you in the fucking face, this is insanity. She should have popped Rhea in her fucking mouth, and they should have brawled to the back or something. That's the end of the fucking match. It's probably better.
It really.
Too. Yeah, good point.
And the fact I looked at that entrance, bro. Like I can't tell you how long I was looking at that entrance. I was like, Adam Pearce, you're not gonna come out and announce the triple threat. Like we know that's where we're going. Like just come out and announce it. Why do we need another segment for you to announce this as a triple threat? It's quite obvious that's where we're going.
Can't wait. I'm actually fantastic.
It is. But I disagree with the people that were saying. I've heard several different podcasts that were like, "Oh, this is the best story going into WrestleMania." No, it's not.
What do you think?
It's been dragged.
Cody and Cena?
I think after Monday, it's Cody and Cena for sure. I would, and after the contract signing, I would say Roman, Seth, and Punk is second.
That's probably my call. Cody and Cena is great, but I'm not gonna give it to you after one segment, even if it was fantastic. Cena won, by the way. Enough of these people.
Thank you. Romeo was trying to tell me, oh, Cody won. I was like, Cena had the best line. Cena had the most fire. Cena got the fans on his side that were booing him to the point that they started booing Cody when he started saying his reply to Cena.
Yeah, come on. Listen, props to Cody for not getting murdered. That's a win in and of itself. But no, Cena won that. It is what it is. I forgot how good John Cena is. He turns it on. Boy, he turned it on. Ugh. Maybe turn it off a little bit. Good goddamn. Call this nigga sociopath. Fuck. Yeah.
Nepo baby sociopath.
Shit. Jeez. Take it easy. You does have to maintain his spot.
You know, like we don't want to bury him completely, sir. Like Dion, do you really have to ask that question? Who's the heel in the Roman, Seth, and Punk feud? It's obviously Seth. He's the one acting like a bitch. Main event, and you crying about it because the guy you hate is getting the WrestleMania main event as well. That's why I made the video of me being like, I am not singing this Seth Rollins song. Fuck this dude. He's the heel.
And props to you for keeping the camera on yourself and showing your annoyance. Like some other cocksucker in that crowd. I forgot who it was. He was wearing a suit. He turned around. He put his hands in his ears. Look at this guy. Got him. Wrestling fans got to make it about themselves. Of course they do. Good Lord. Enough of these people. Enough of these fucking people. But yeah, Seth in the heel. I love how Roman's character, props to him, has not changed a bit in 5 years, 6 years. Same fucking guy.
Yes, I love it. I love that he's the babyface and he has not changed. He has not asked for forgiveness. He has not apologized.
That's really solid work. I like the attempt at a change in this. No, I'm still me.
Sing for your tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Fantastic.
He's so good. He is so good. Oh well, yeah. I can see that. I can see Roman as the tweener. Like,
I can see that. Yeah, Punk's the babyface.
Yeah. Punk crying for getting a WrestleMania main event, and Roman says one guy's dream is another guy's favorite paycheck. I was like, oh my god, he's the MVP of this entire segment.
That is insane. Still too over having a real moment. He's like, ew.
It's like, you thanking everybody? Thank me. I'm the reason. And yo, that was a shoot. That was a shoot, ladies and gentlemen. That is the reason.
I will say, what makes all those segments awesome to me is you feel like you could go off the rails at any moment. Because all three of these motherfuckers might say the wrong thing, and somebody else is going to snap. And Roman feels like the guy who would say the wrong thing. Thank me feels like it could be the wrong thing. This shit goes sideways right here. Thank me. The only reason you're in this fucking match. How about that? I like that. You're welcome.
The only reason you get your dream.
He should have said that. The only reason you got your dream.
Me. I'm in the match. That makes it the main event.
Roman Reigns. You see me.
Roman. Say my name. Sing my name. Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I said it was upset that women didn't get the main event. Like, well, look, women aren't Roman Reigns. I'm not saying. Sorry. It's not my fault.
Yeah, once you separate Roman and Cody, both of them gonna get the 2 nights. Like, yeah, 2 nights. Like, what do you expect? And like I said, I don't think that the Rhea, Io, and Bianca the booking of that rivalry has been that great that it necessitates them getting the main event.
Oh, no. Not nothing necessitated, though. You're not beating Roman and Punk. And then big drop, Seth. Sorry. Seth's not a category. We not go off.
But ironically, they've booked it where he's the glue of this whole thing.
Thanks. Sure. Whatever you say. Yeah. Yeah. Seth is the same level of star they are. Of course he is. He's going to be on Raw again this week to tell us about the cool shit that's going to happen on SmackDown. Gotcha.
Hey, guys, watch SmackDown for this. But let's get into AEW Dynamite, which took place from Peoria, Illinois. What did you think about the crowd last night in Peoria?
Ass or poorly mic'd. I'll let you decide.
Either or. But before we get into the opening contest, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, Taz were on commentary as the entrances was going on for the matchup. Excalibur informs us that the Death Riders have attacked Switchblade Jay White prior to the show and has subsequently taken him out of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. So the brackets had to be reset. I was very much worried. I was like, I hope this is not a case of Tony Khan or Jay White being like, I'm not losing in this tournament, take me out or something like that. I was very worried when I first heard that. I was very worried, but Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful Select put out the report that apparently Switchblade Jay White suffered an injury that has caused him to not be part of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. That's 2 years in a row. Last year he was in the tournament, made it to the semifinals and got injured, got a foot injury in the matchup against Hangman Adam Page. This year, before he's even in the tournament, he got injured before it. So what do you think about Switchblade being out of the tournament, removed from the Owen Hart Cup?
Fucking depressing. My favorite male wrestler on the roster. I didn't think he'd win. I wouldn't go that fucking far, but I thought he'd definitely be the most interesting wrestler in there. I imagine losing to Ospreay in the semis or the finals. It's heartbreaking. At some point, we do need to start considering whether or not he's injury prone or not.
And it seems like it's a minor injury. Like Alexander says here that it's been reported he has a broken hand. So he's not going to miss. He shouldn't miss that much time, but it is kind of like, it sucks. And I think, I think if they are correct that Kevin Knight is replacing Jay White, he just would have had a great match with Will Ospreay at Dynasty and lost.
You think so? I can't.
I think if he's in the tournament, yeah, you probably reshuffle it, and he faces someone else.
Yeah, there's a bum in there. No offense, a bum is too strong for a word, but Mark Briscoe's in there. There's guys who can take a loss. We'll say, no disrespect. You know what I mean?
And yeah, it has been reported that Orange Cassidy is also injured with a torn pectoral muscle. So
sucks for him. You never want to hear about anybody getting injured, but let's not put him and Jay White in the same category. Let's not do that. Don't do that, Skate.
Yes. There's levels to this, and they have positioned Orange, even though it looked 2 years ago he was going to get up to a level that's comparable to Switchblade Jay White. Switchblade Jay White, he felt like a guy that's upper mid card can be a fringe main eventer at this point for AEW. Orange Cassidy is definitely in the middle.
Yes. Sorry to break news to you. You all love Orange.
Yeah, it is sad because I thought that we would have got I think he would have faced Ospreay in the tournament, but like you said, I think it would have probably been like the second round match.
Yeah. I was curious where you can go with this. We gotta wait. God damn it. Waiting a long time for this Jay White main event push. I keep getting told it's gonna happen.
Well, this one is something that's out of their control.
Yeah. To be fair. Last year too. And the year before that. And the year before that. Right, yeah, I know. We're just about to do it too. Right.
We got another super chat donation here from Meet Normus. Thank you so much, Meet Normus. We appreciate the support, good brother. Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Let's fucking go.
End of the month. Motherfuckers got paid. Congrats.
Me Norman says, here's a small sack of monies for the meat match. Brody and Oth and Archer beat the brisket out of each other. OC is injured, have meat madness for his title. OC doesn't have a title anymore. When's the last time he had it?
It's a whole gimmick. All right. It's just shitting on wrestling fans for having a gimmick. You sent me money. I don't think it's appropriate to shit on you too. So, thanks.
Hey, meet Normus. He's a good brother. I've seen him over on the Fightful chat. Glad to see you over here on the True Hill Heat community as well. Appreciate you, good sir. Thank you for the super chat donation. Big Man Dog says Jay versus Ospreay would have probably have been a great match too. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But like I said, they announced this during the entrance of the opener, and the opener was our Tornado mixed tag team matchup of the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir of the Death Riders. They came out first as they were going up against Swerve Strickland and Willow Nightingale, the Earth 2 Dream Team of Jimmy Macram. Strickland and Nightingale bolted to the ring and started the brawl as Nana is directing the Swerve's house chants. I did love Willow doing the Swerve while I drive dance with Nana. That was great. Shafir dropped Nightingale with a snap suplex on the floor as she helped Moxley set up a table at ringside. Nightingale and Swerve recovered as the bell officially rang when they got inside the ring, with Shafir hitting multiple judo throws in the ring on Willow. Moxley took Swerve into the ring and flipped off the crowd, allowing Strickland to answer back with a perfect-looking dropkick. Backbreaker shotgun dropkick combination from Swerve and Willow worked really well with each other in this one. They were doing a lot of double teams, like they did a locomotion corner splashes before both did the gritty dance. Shafir returned to the ring and cut off Willow, while Moxley dropped Swerve with a cutter and launched Swerve into the front row. Moxley called the shots as Shafir kept up her attack on Nightingale, who finally slapped Moxley as he teased a paradigm shift on Willow, which we would see the payoff for. But Swerve came in and he had Shafir ready to be dropped with the big pressure. So we basically had a hostage situation where Swerve was like, I'll drop her if you drop Willow. Shafir audibly yelled for Strickland to do it. I love this. Was badass by Marina. This might have been one of the most badass things she's done since this angle started. She's like, do it. But neither pulled the trigger as Shafir and Willow slugged it out on the apron. Nightingale tried a charging boot, but Shafir was able to catch her very awkwardly. It looked like they were about to botch it, but god damn, that power bomb through the table. Willow took all the power bomb on the back of her neck and her head through the table. I was like, that was nasty.
I'm sure Marina Shafir has improved in the recent months. So yeah, whatever. I almost killed Willow. Fucking ass.
During the break, it was all Shafir and Moxley who set up another table on the other side of the ringside. Shafir raked at the back of Swerve in the corner before Moxley followed suit. Nightingale returned and turned everything into a Tower of Doom spot where she powerbombed both members of the Death Riders, with Swerve taking a superplex. Nightingale flying solo with multiple corner charges until Moxley grabbed her by the hair. Then as Swerve flew in, he hits a pump knee to Moxley, leading to Willow hitting the cannonball. Swerve hit a slingshot dive outside on Moxley as Willow spiked Shafir with a spine buster for a 2 count. Moxley tossed Nightingale out of the ring, leading to Swerve returning and winning a slugfest between the two. Moxley countered a brainbuster into a rear naked choke. It looked like Swerve was about to pass out. Marina Shafir tried a triangle choke on Nightingale, who countered that into a powerbomb on Shafir onto Moxley for a reset. The ladies went to the floor and they started brawling as Moxley and Swerve started slugging it out. Moxley bit the head of Swerve before Swerve ducked a choke into a rolling flatliner. He looked for the house call in the corner, but Shafir basically takes the bullet for the AEW World Champion, pushing him out the way and taking the house calls right on the dome piece. I was like, God damn, that was a hard hit. Camera completely botched, missing Willow hitting a pounce on Moxley off the apron through a table. And then Willow picks up Shafir, hits the doctor bomb, the babe with the power bomb. 1, 2, 3 for Swerve and Willow to pick up the victory here. Post-match, everyone is celebrating. Moxley sneaks into the ring while Swerve is up on the ropes celebrating after picking up the win with Willow. Willow is standing in the center ring and bumps into Moxley, who drops her with a paradigm shift in the middle of the ring. Swerve is in shock. He runs out to Moxley, who bails out of the ring. Doctors and officials come and check on Willow after being dropped. She's having issues with her neck. Swerve looks very concerned, as does Prince Nana. Backstage, we caught up with Renee Paquette, who is checking on Willow Nightingale, and with Swerve outside of the doctor's office. They basically get word. Swerve provides the update saying that that Willow is strong and brave, which is why he didn't have any problem facing the Death Riders with her. Strickland said Moxley knew the history of neck injuries that Nightingale has had, so now he's on the hunt. Strickland won't rest until he gets his hands on Jon Moxley again. Not in Philadelphia, not at AEW Dynasty. He says by the end of the night, he promises to get his hands on Jon Moxley. And I loved Renee Paquette's sell of this. Renee Paquette made this promo great because she just looks so unsettled by the threat of Swerve getting his hands on her husband. Strickland went back to sitting by Nightingale's side, who was attended by the doctors here. So good work. In the matchup. The matchup had a lot of sloppy spots, especially before the first commercial break. But I think overall, the chaos of it all, it made for a fun tornado tag team matchup, a fun opener to the show overall. And I like the post-match angle with Moxley dropping Willow and adding a little bit of a personal edge to this world title matchup ahead of the pay-per-view. Jimmy, what did you think about the opener?
First half of his match, we can go sloppy if you like. Poorly done. Sorry, Moxley's not any good. I've come to that conclusion. I'm sorry. I've come to that conclusion. I've gone from average to just not very good. In the ring, he's still he's not really a good promo anymore either.
He had a good promo last week.
Yeah.
When he has something to make a point of, he could be concise. He's a great promo.
All right, you can go with that.
He just hasn't been that much during his title reign.
Yeah, I was gonna give Marina credit early on for her work. I thought her work was tight, stiff. Then she almost killed Willow, so she's out. Back to the bum bunch you go. All this is. Listen, I know they don't do production meetings because I guess they're afraid of leaks. I think I remember hearing that somewhere. We need to start. Whatever we lose in a leak, we gain in camera guy knowing what the fuck is going on, what he's supposed to be watching right fucking now, which is helpful if, I don't know, Willow's going to pound somebody through a fucking table. Should get that on camera. Just a thought. Ugh. Yeah, this match was fine. The angle afterward was good. I would like to explore this Marina and Moxley relationship quite a bit. I think that Moxley's willing to murder Yuta to make a point, but is not going to let Marina take a move. That seems outrageous. Where does this fucking tight-ass bond come from? She's a mother and she's a protector, okay? Why does Moxley give a shit? I don't understand any of this. I'm curious. I'd like to see more of it. Lastly, but not leastly, I like Swerve threat to get him by the end of the night. However, I don't want that to be done literally. Like, we come back an hour and a half later and he's in the same spot talking about that shit he's going to go do. Perhaps you should do something about it after you say it. Good fucking Lord.
even if it's just a small clip of him searching backstage in locker rooms, that would have been a very key thing to add before we got the closing angle.
Yes, move the Hangman thing earlier.
Yeah, do the Hangman thing first. In the middle of the show, and then do the Moxley and Jeff Riders thing at the end.
Yeah, makes him look like a dumbass. I'm gonna do it by the end of the night. I mean, literally, by the end of the night.
Gotcha. He's like, oh, that was the main event. All right, there you go.
Show's over. Go home.
Or at least have them be like, oh, Prince Nana's been trying to talk him out of it the whole night. Something small, that. Like they. I'm just adding little bits where it doesn't take too much time. It doesn't take too much time to do a 30-second clip of him looking in locker room. It doesn't take much for a 30-second blurb from the commentators of Prince Nana's been trying to talk Swerve out of coming after the Death Riders all night.
Yes. Well, yeah, boss. What happens when we find them? We get jumped 4-2. This feels like a bad idea.
Yeah.
So it's like, shut up.
Because the Hangman thing too, and I agree with you that that's another good adjustment that they could have done is do the Hangman stuff early on. Is basically Swerve listening to what Nana said during the Ricochet feud, which is you make everything so personal, like that showed progression for him. So even if you put it towards the middle of the show, it's still going to stand out for the night, even though the closing angle was good.
Agreed.
We got here, Big Man Dogs agrees, saying last week, Mox promo was good. Yeah, he said back to the bumhole? Question mark.
I didn't consider that. Back to the trash hole. Well, that sounds a little worse. I'm just like calling it the trash hole. Now I think about it.
Either or.
I'm a virgin. Can I put it in the trash hole?
Oh man. We're speaking of Renee Paquette. She was a busy bee, as tends to be the case on these episodes of Dynamite. We get clips of what happened on Collision with Dax Harwood losing to Willow Yuta and then snapping on the referee and pushing down Cash Wheeler. They say he was fined for putting his hands on an official. So earlier today, we get Renee interviewing FTR and referee Paul Turner. As last week on so he's been fined $10,000. Hardwood says once again for the second week in a row, Hardwood has to apologize to people. He's taken the fine money and wanted to give it directly to Paul Turner as he apologized and told Turner to buy his wife something nice, a nice dinner, if you will. Wheeler could barely look at Hardwood. He was looking off. I was like, oh, this nigga's tight. This nigga's so tight. Hardwood then looks at Wheeler and he apologized for what he did. It was in the heat of the moment. He said he thought that Wheeler was a security guard. He says, but they've been brothers for the past 12 years, and you just don't let things like that happen. It happens when you're brothers. But Cash Wheeler says, come Dynasty. Dax says, come Dynasty. They're adding to their history as the greatest tag team of all time by becoming one of the best trios with rated FTR. Harwood tried to hug Cash, but Cash stopped him and said, Sunday, they'll be fine. But after the pay-per-view, they have to talk. Wheeler walked off as Harwood once again was like, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Why does Dax's apology sound so condescending? This is the best character change that I've seen for FTR in 2 years.
This is the shit the Hitman is talking about. What is this? Fucking. As the world turns, what is this? Damn, y'all really don't fuck with this. I gotta be honest. I kind of like it. I kind of like this ridiculousness. These grown fucking men over here turn his back on. I'm not looking at him. Really? Grown men, really? And by the way, paying fines, you don't pay it to the referee. That's not how fines work.
Yeah. I was like, if he said I'm gonna pay an extra $10,000, I'm gonna give it to the referee, that would have made more sense.
I hope somebody said this is a bribe, but I hope this is a bribe. I doubt it. I doubt we get that level of story.
Paul Turner is the referee on Sunday.
He's just giving Paul Turner money. You know what to do.
Here you go. We got Big Man Dolly says, I have been liking FTR way more in 2025. It's funny.
Yeah, it's silly. You wouldn't think it's the best use of FTR, but it kind of is. I'm sorry.
It is. It's much better than anything they were doing in 2024.
Oh, that's fucking true.
Just is what it is. We get highlights of our opening contest. I love how they really did emphasize what happened in the post-match. You had Excalibur telling us that Nightingale is getting medical attention as we speak and hope to have more information as the night continues. They actually replayed what happened in the opening segment. When do they ever replay an angle? I was like, hey, this is a step in the right direction. So I'll give them that.
Yes. Nice middle ground between them and the Fed. I gotta watch SmackDown again while I'm watching Raw. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I hate that. Yo, dude, but I will say, being live at the show, that is the best time because it comes right after a commercial or something big. So you just go right to concessions, right to get the bathroom, right to get something to eat. Like, it's just like, it's like, why would I want to watch this? And even when I'm at home, I take that time to be like, okay, I'm just going to go to the bathroom at this point. Like, yeah, I don't want to see the same thing I watched on Friday. I had to sit through 3 hours to get a good segment on Friday.
Jesus.
I did have to sit through 3 hours because I like the opening segment and I like the closing segment being there live for SmackDown. Everything in between was Cody, Randy Orton, and Drew McIntyre.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I was fine with that. I just didn't like there wasn't enough emphasis on Cody and Cena. I would have liked if Orton been like, I've been feuding with John Cena for 20 years. Here's my advice to you, Cody. Instead of Orton just going like, hey, let me put over Cody, and then let me also say I'm coming for the title. It wasn't enough about Cena for me.
Agreed.
But we get at this point the reveal of the brackets for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. For the men's bracket, we have a Will Ospreay over here on the left-hand side. He'll be going up against Jay White's replacement for the tournament, Kevin Knight, following Kevin Knight's really good matchup against Jay White on Collision, and Jay White putting him over before he was officially announced as the newest member of the AEW roster. Also on the left side, the winner of Ospreay and Knight will go up against Brody King versus Konosuke Takeshita, which should be an absolute banger. Can't wait for that. Hopefully that's next week on Dynamite. Right-hand side of the bracket, we got Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. These guys have been tearing it up in recent months. They had that great matchup in the Continental Classic, great matchup on Collision in January, and now they have another matchup here in the Owen Hart Cup. And then on the bottom right-hand side, we got Hangman Adam Page versus the Wild Card. Every year, the AEW Owen Hart Foundation tournament has a wild card. We've seen in the past the wild card has been Johnny TV. It's been Hangman Adam Page last year. Who do you think is going to be the wild card to face Hangman this year?
I liked Darby's pick since the only one I could think of. Off the top of my fucking head, I don't know. Somebody said Josh Alexander. Maybe.
I've heard Josh Alexander, which I agree with you. I don't think he's the right person. If you want to actually push him when he comes in, I don't think him coming in to lose to Hangman is a good idea. I've heard Jeff Jarrett as well, and if it's just going to be someone who loses to Hangman Adam Page, why the hell not?
Fair enough.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah. So we got some shouts in the chat. We got Clark Connors. I know Connors is going to be in Japan over the weekend for Sakura Genesis, and he might be IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion after tomorrow's show. So I don't know if I would put him in the tournament. We got Hard Finisher says Speedball. Speedball's already getting a shot at the International Championship, and I don't think the wild card should just be someone that is already on the roster because that's not really a wild card, and it doesn't fit the theme of what we've seen with past wild card members. We got Tanahashi, because why the hell not, from Greg Carter II. He's someone from outside the company. So,
Did anybody we've signed recently outside of Alexander?
The Judd Alexander. I'm trying to think. Maybe a former WWE star. Maybe Bishop Dyer, Baron Corbin.
I can see that. Having an entirely too long match with Hangman before Hangman goes over. I can see that. I can see that. You know what? That's my favorite now. Good Lord.
There you go. There you go. Oh, Nutty says Tada is cooked. I mean, not really. You can still have a good matchup. I've seen Tada have more good matchups than Charlotte Flair, to be fair. So.
That was a random shot. Jesus.
I'm just saying, that's the only person who I know has comparable knees. We got
Jesus.
Car driver finisher who says Hechicero, because Hechicero is always the person who they pick.
That's true.
And then we got footage of the Knight and White matchup as basically him giving the endorsement to Kevin Knight. But I feel this year, this is the first year I think out of all 4 Owen Hart Cups, the women's bracket clears the men's bracket, because I honestly don't know who's going to win at this point. I know there's going to be favorites. We got on the left-hand side here, Jamie Hayter will have a rematch from Collision against Billy Starks. Then on the left-hand bottom side, we got Thunder Rosa going one-on-one with Chris Statlander. They both announced their entry into the Owen Hart Cup and had a promo teasing that they would potentially face each other in the tournament, and it goes down in the first round. Right-hand side of the bracket, on the upper part, you got Julia Hart versus Mercedes Moné, which was first reported or first predicted by us here on the True Hill Heat, here on AEWramble, because we said after when Julia Hart versus Queen Aminata 3 was announced, we was like, the winner of that should probably face Mercedes at Dynasty. We're not getting it in the way we thought, but we're getting it. And then on the bottom right-hand side of the bracket, we got Harley Cameron versus the recently debuting or returned to AEW on Collision, the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion for over 800 plus days, Athena. So with the women's bracket, what do you think about the bracket overall, Jimmy? And who do you see as like the favorites for this one? Because honestly, before the brackets were revealed, I had it Ospreay and Hangman in the finals for the men, and I had Athena versus Mercedes for the finals for the women. But now we see that Athena and Mercedes are on the same side of the bracket. It throws me for a loop a little bit, because now I feel there is a chance that the left-hand side of the bracket may have the winner over there between Hayter, Thunder Rosa, and Chris Statlander.
Yeah, you love this bracket more than I do. These first round matches are all really easy. Once we get to the semis, a little more difficult. I'm going to say Athena goes over here. It's a way to have her win without Mercedes losing the belt. And be Stat and Hayter. First, that match be fantastic. If I keep my hands out of my pants, be a really enjoyable watch. I'm going to go.
Whoa!
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Part of me says this is the time to push Hayter. But I don't see it. I just don't. No, fuck it. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go with Hayter and Athena. And then Hayter wins. Because of Mercedes.
Yeah. That's how I would do it. I honestly think that it should be, they should probably do the Mercedes and Athena at All In. And if they're going to face each other in the tournament, then it should probably be Athena winning to basically be the first woman to beat Mercedes in AEW, and it makes it a stronger matchup for All In Texas.
That makes the most sense. Could I see a situation where Mercedes wins the tournament? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We got Alexander who says Athena versus Mercedes at Dynamite in Boston. Mercedes wins. Mercedes versus Athena at All In. Athena gets her win back in her hometown.
People love this horse shit. God. So when we had Vince there, nobody would win in their hometown. So now you guys want to go all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum of us can't lose. What the fuck?
That has been the theme of AEW, is that people usually win in their hometown, or at least booked in their hometown.
Jesus. The fuck? No. I think it should be
I want to face Tony Storm at All In Texas.
What the fuck? Please don't do this.
Oh man. We got Big Man Dogs who says Hater and Tony have had good chemistry, haven't they? They've had one of the best AEW women's title matches on pay-per-view from Full Gear 2022.
Yeah, man. That Hater run was something special.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I would say if it's Hater that wins, she needs to turn heel.
Oh, against Tony? Yeah. Ooh,
yeah.
Nobody's winning that.
We got Alexander said, Jimmy, I'm thinking like TK. LOL.
Fair enough. When you said it, it sounded right to me.
It did. I can go front. It was like, yeah, I think the better way is Athena winning in the tournament. But yeah, I can see Tony being like, no, Mercedes wins in Boston, and then Athena costs Mercedes in the finals, and we do it in Texas.
Oh, fire Jen Pepperman. What do you even do, lady? Prophecy, unlike Swerve or Booker T, Mercedes looking out for her people. It's women, not black people, but still, it's something. Good Lord.
It's her people. Speaking of the women's division, you had Timeless Toni Storm in action. Up next, our AEW Women's World Champion with Luther in her corner, going up against Penelope Ford. Storm wasted no time attacking Ford after being attacked on Collision. We saw a clip of that great camera shot where they did the close-up of Tony, and then Penelope booted her in the face on Saturday. We get Storm hitting a spinning backbreaker and a fisherman suplex for a near fall. She missed the hip attack, allowing Ford to hit a shotgun dropkick and a springboard double knees on the apron before mocking Toni Storm's pose. Ford clocked Storm with a big boot and was in control heading into commercial break. We returned from break and Ford hit a handspring back elbow and a charging punt kick. But as she went to lick Tony basically fucking grabs her by the tongue and bites it. Holy shit. I was like, what the fuck? It led to a slugfest. Tony Schiavone says he's never seen something like that, which surprised Taz. He says Schiavone had been doing this since 1932. Storm ramped up and hit Sweet Cheeks music and then spiked Ford with a DDT for a near fall. A leg capture STF from Storm led to Ford getting a rope break as she pulled Storm to the outside and hit a moonsault off the apron. Back inside, Ford hit a gut buster for a 2 count. She missed a high kick, letting Tony hit a snap German suplex. Both appeared briefly on a different page, but Ford dodged Storm Zero. She tried her Matrix Stunner, but Storm instead finally does hit the Storm Zero for the 1-2-3. This was a solid matchup, I thought, here. Penelope Ford got to look good against the champion before she pulled out the victory here. Post-match, Megan Bayne comes out slowly on, oh my God. I was like, Megan Bayne? Jesus. She walked out looking like $1 million in this white dress with her goddess headdress as she did a fake golf clap for Tony. Tony's stared her down and welcomed her into the ring for a fight, but she didn't bite. She just posed on the outside ahead of their title match this Sunday. What did you think about this one here?
This was fine. Kind of felt like we were going back to the old Toni Storm matches where it's all character stuff, and it kind of bothered me. I ain't gonna hold you, but it is Penelope Ford, so do what you got to do, I suppose. This was fine. Megan Bayne looks fantastic. Wearing that dress with that headrest looks like she's a little psychotic. Like there might be something wrong with her. You look insane, lady. I don't want to be rude, but you out of your fucking mind. Solid overall. I will say, I feel like they did a good job pacing their stars here. You got Swerve and Moxley early, then you got Tony. And I think MJF is next, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah, I said this on Rest Things that comes out tomorrow. I was like, Penelope Ford and Megan Bain, I called them Team Tony Janela. They're Eskimo twins.
Insane. You got to put Janela in some type of Hall of Fame. Him, Punk.
The Riz Hall of Tyler Bate. We talked about Tyler Bate on Rated Raw Review. Tyler Bate got the Punk like resume. Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's my top 3. What the fuck? And Janela is easily the most impressive out of the 3, not because of the roster, but because he's Joey Janela. Like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck? I don't understand. I'll never understand. I don't get it.
Nutty says, "Dear Megan, I was unfamiliar with your game."
Really? We all been.
Got to see those social media, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know? Excalibur tells us about the All in Texas week leading up to the big event in July. Dynamite will be at Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland, Texas. Then the next night you have AEW Collision on Thursday. Will be in Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland, Texas as well. You got Starcast Texas on Friday and Saturday at the Sheraton in Arlington, Texas. Then you got Death Before Dishonor, Ring of Honor's summer event on Friday at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And then, of course, finally on Saturday at a special start time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, it's going to be All in Texas at the Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. I said as soon as I saw this, I was like, it's about damn time they started treating All In like it is their biggest event of the year and have a full week in the area. And it's going to feel big with people coming in for this whole big week in Texas for AEW.
Whatever. I don't want to be rude. I'm sorry.
You're always rude. You do want to be rude. You're always rude.
I don't want to take out my frustration with WWE on them, even though they are heading in the same direction. I understand it's really nobody's fault. It's fucking capitalism. That's how that fucking works. But it does gross me out. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not really mad at you.
You don't like WrestleMania week? You don't like?
I don't like WrestleMania week. I like it even less now that TKO's taking over. Because they are
getting outrageous with this shit. Fucking after parties.
What the fuck? What? What about the roast? What the fuck is all this? And I love it's like that's what bothers me. It's pure. It's not even pretending like it's anything about money. Like, I'm sure Triple H and Khan had a package. Like, okay, we can sell 85,000 tickets to blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, or we could sell 30,000 tickets for 3 times the price. Fuck you, you greedy cocksuckers. What the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. All this bothers me. Yo, those prices are fucking egregious. What the fuck? I've never seen prices like this before in my life. But inflation. This is not inflation. This is greed.
Yeah, Romeo tried to correct me because I said it's on. This WrestleMania is on pace of being its lowest drawing. I should have said lowest attended WrestleMania event. But he said it is going to probably break a gate record. I was like, yes, because they're overpricing.
They gives not half a fuck about any of that shit y'all talking about. You think they could break the fucking AEW record? Do you think they give half a fuck about that? If it's not increase their wallets, they don't care. Ill. Fucking gross.
Ill to all of this.
Oh.
Here we are. Bow, fiend.
You've already destroyed the ring. You can't even step anywhere in that ring without stepping on the fucking logo. And I told you before, that's it in the show. I'm telling you now, I'm not sure if it's happened yet. In the next 6 months, wrestlers will be forced to wear short in their clothes. I'm calling it. They will have to. Fucking Mike's meat, whatever the fuck. It'll be gross. I'm telling you. I'm calling it now. It'll start with Cody and Roman and Seth. That's my guess.
I think it's going to start with Cena. Cena's going to be sponsored by Drumstick.
I totally forgot about Cena. Yeah. Never mind.
He's going to have like the Drumstick logo on his jorts.
Oh my God. What the fuck? And it's not like it's going to be some fantastic trickle down thing where when I get paid, everybody gets paid. No. Cody and Cena and Roman and Triple H and Nick Khan and those TKO cocksuckers get paid. The rest of you can deal with the rest of this shit we've been doing for forever. Good Lord. So yeah, I'm not blaming all in on that, but we're heading that direction too. I know we are. You can't help itself. It's how capitalism moves. It moves one way, and that's towards the money.
MVP and Bobby Lashley are out to talk about some business. Good ovation for Bobby Lashley and MVP, the Hurt Syndicate. We're told that due to severe weather has caused Shelton Benjamin to not be there on the show. Before Bobby Lashley can get a word out on the mic, though, the music of MJF hits. And you saw Bobby Lashley, he just rolled his eyes. He's like, fuck.
This
what the fuck does this do? This nigga won. MJF comes out. A fan has a sign that reads, "Sign my sign," and MJF fakes like he would and then chucks the pen away, leaving the fan with an hilarious, heartbroken expression. MJF gets on the mic and he says he compliments how good Montel looks tonight before telling Bob how much he disrespected him last week. MJF formally introduces himself to Lashley and says that he loves the big man. He loves Shelton Benjamin as well. He's wishing him well to stay safe. He'll see him down the road. MJF said Lashley has done a lot in his career, but this is AEW, and he's standing on the block that MJF built. MJF said that he can help Lashley and Benjamin hold those AEW World Tag Team titles as long as they please, just like they could help him regain his AEW World Championship. MJF in the Hurt Syndicate is just good business. MVP knows it. MJF knows it. Even these mouth breathers in the Midwest knows it. And he told the crowd to talk to him when Peoria even mattered, when they booed. Lashley might not want MJF, but Bobby, you beautiful bastard, you need MJF. He puts his hand on his shoulder, and Bobby Lashley looks at the head like, nigga, don't you touch me. Lashley says, let's be clear. Out of respect to MVP, he won't leave him laying right now. And he tells MJF he doesn't like or trust him. The Hurt Syndicate doesn't need him unless he proves otherwise. He needs to get out of his face right now. MJF questioned having to prove himself, but he says, you know what? Goodbye. He says goodbye to the crowd, and he walks to the back, giving one last glance on his way out. As he leaves, we then hear the music of the Learning Tree. As Big Bill and Brian Keefe come down to the ring, they have a brief face-off with Lashley and MVP, as Bill places a seat down for Lashley to sit and watch what they do next. But before we get to that matchup, Jimmy, what did you think about MJF and the Hurt Syndicate? This is going, they're slow burning this, but I'm liking it. It's keeping my intrigue into this story.
That's a good way to put it. It's well delivered. I was going to say well paced or well structured. I'm not sure it's that. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the reason Bobby talks and not MVP is because they don't want you to remember that they're giving you very little new information here. The only thing that actually happened was MJF saying he wants to prove himself. Everything else we already knew or heard. I want to talk Bobby's fit. That's a wild fit. Somebody, only Bobby Lashley's size can get away with this fit. It's got like this very womanly bow on the like around his waist.
It's like like a robe type of tie. Yeah.
And to be fair, it's Bobby. You kind of let him do what he wants to do.
Remember, he debuted in that. What was that? That tan color leather suit.
Oh yeah, what's wild? I wonder if niggas like that just do it because nobody can fuck them up. It's like, what are you really gonna do? No. I refuse. No more MJF tournaments.
The wild card can't be someone on the roster. It can't be that obvious unless it's someone that's been off of TV for a while, like Jeff Jarrett. That made more sense than MJF.
I don't even care about that. I just don't want MJF in the tournament ever. He refuses. It's way too much work. It's 4 matches. Get the fuck out of here. What was I gonna say? Yeah, this was fine. This was fine, even though we could have got a lot of this in an email. It's still fine. In fact, we didn't even need an email. Fucking MJF could have just said after the promo last week, I'm gonna prove myself. Was that a sentence? Yeah, and we're done. But this was fine. I was more interested with the Big Bill and Brian Keith thing. MVP does not fuck with Brian Keith at all. I don't know what the beef is. He again called him something womanly, and Brian Keith did not take it. He got in his face. MVP was like, "You better sit your ass down somewhere," and then they moved on again. Like, what the fuck is going on? What is the beef?
He's like, you don't want to be in part of the Hurt Syndicate. You with that. He's with Chris Jericho, so that's why he don't fuck with him.
Oh shit!
He's like, he's a nigga with Chris Jericho. He's like, I don't fuck with you.
Maybe that's it. But I'm like, you really burying Brian Keith. I don't like it. I don't like Brian Keith, but damn, what the fuck do you do?
Well, they made them look strong because we talked about it last week that Big Bill and Brian Keith had 0 wins as a tag team. They picked up the victory over the Top Flight on Collision. And here they get a victory over, I don't know who the fuck these people are. We were never told their name at all. Bill launched one of them over the top rope with a gorilla press down to the feet of Bobby Lashley. The other tried to attack Bill from behind and rightfully got "you fucked up" chants. As Keith ran in, he hits a charging knee to the other guy, and then Big Bill hits a choke slam onto that one as well. 1, 2, 3 with his boot on the guy's face. Jesus. They pick up a quick victory here. Lashley and MVP smiled and applauded the slaughter as Bill took the microphone and said on Collision they whooped Top Flight's ass, and tonight they whooped, he looks back and he says, their ass. On a Sunday, they're whooping the Hurt Syndicate's ass. It's because they want a shot at those AEW World Tag Team titles. MVP was going to say something, but Bobby Lashley stopped him, and he just smiled as they went to the backstage area. It was announced later in the show that it is official. The Hurt Syndicate's Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin will defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships against the Learning Trees, Big Bill and Brian Keith. We also got revealed in the Wrestling Observer newsletter last Friday that this spot was originally for the Murder Machines. They were going to follow up the whole thing that they did before Revolution, but Brian Cage got injured on an independent show, so then they replaced them with Big Bill and Brian Keith.
All right, I was about to say when we get the Archer match, they really fucked this up, but all right, fair enough. I like Big Bill a lot, and him standing next to Lashley is always an impressive visual, so I look forward to that match. But this reign for the Hurt business has not turned out the way I wanted it to turn out through 2 months or however long it's been. I'm very disappointed. I ain't gonna hold you.
They need to decide what they are. I think that's the biggest issue. Is that there's only so long you could be a tweener. You have to like have a clear direction of your heel or your babyface. You're aligning with MJF or you're not aligning with MJF. I think that whole thing, once we clear this story up and they decide if they're going to align with MJF or not, we'll know if they're heels or babyfaces.
And then what do we do with that? Are we going to go into an MJF feud? Are we going to go into a tag team thing with more unimpressive tag teams so far? The Outrunners and Big Bill and Brian Keith. Even if I give you the injury, the Murder Machines. All right. What are we doing? I don't understand.
We need like I would say like you got Undisputed Kingdom who picked up a victory over FTR about a month ago. I would have had them be the replacements for the Murder Machines because at least they have history of being tag team champions elsewhere, and they have a long history of being like Ring of Honor tag team champions, and they're a credible team that can have probably good to great matchup with Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. I think that would have been a better direction to go. But certainly. I'm guessing MJF. My guess is he helps them in some way on Sunday to prove himself.
I can see that. MJF acts like he did something by helping him beat Brian Keith. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
really
sir.
Thank you. I want Bobby Lashley to respond like that. Yeah, I really needed your help to beat Brian Keith.
Don't worry about it, pal. Of course not. We get it.
Anytime, Bob. The fact that MJF calls them Montel and Bob is hilarious to me.
Wild. I keep waiting for MVP to get upset because Montel sounds hilarious. Montel?
No one calls him Montel anymore. They can either call him MVP or P.
Yeah, I would say that's the most interesting part of the show for me. Is these three, essentially. I don't know where it's going. I am interested.
Renee Paquette is backstage with AEW TBS champion Mercedes Moné. 4 belts Moné is here, and she asks her about facing Julia Hart, where the match is going to be official for AEW Dynasty in the opening round of the Owen Hart Cup. Moné said that Hart is a former TBS champion, but she's not the greatest TBS champion, as it'll take more than tricks and spells to defeat her. Paquette brings up that on Collision, Athena and Julia Hart will take on Mercedes Moné and her tag team partner, and then in pops in Mini Moné. I love Mercedes' reaction to this. Like, God damn it, you're back. Harley Cameron says that she's been contemplating as her and Moné brought down the house, down under, and Cameron has been thinking of a great name for their tag team. But before she could say it, Moné silences Cameron and Mini Moné, as she says she's not going to be dealing with this, that she'll see her on Saturday. Harley then says that she's going to call their tag team the Money Wrath Train. And then Excalibur says that there's time to workshop that name, as it is official. It will be a tag team matchup on Collision. Mercedes Moné teaming up with Harley Cameron. We finally did it. We talked Tony Khan into making the right decision and teaming these women up as they face Athena and Julia Hart. And like we said earlier, it's going to be Mercedes Moné going one-on-one with Julia Hart in the quarterfinals of the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. Jimmy, what did you think about this backstage segment?
It was good. We know it's going to be good because fucking Harley's there. So good is the minimum. Listen, we got to do the right thing here. This is common sense. You already missed the opportunity one time, actually twice. Get another shot at it. They win this match, obviously. Mercedes wins her match. Harley loses hers, one would imagine, to Athena. And then Harley should say we should be a team permanently. And then Mercedes says, yes, but we're not a team. You're my fucking employee. You work for me. Then Harley says, we'll work on it. Sure.
Or they go the R-Truth route, where there's a report from listen, hear me out. There's a report from Fightful Select that Mercedes is going to start her faction that has been long talked about with the Renegade twins, Robin and Charlotte Renegade, when Charlotte's finally back from injury. How about she says she's starting a group and she recruits them, and Harley thinks that she's in the group and she just follows them around and is the entertainment factor of that. Basically, the
gotta
R
be
Truth
honest.
in the Judgment Day story.
I like Truth in Judgment Day. That worked for me. It went
Yeah.
on too long, like all Judgment Day things do, but I did enjoy it. I like that idea. Not sure. As long as it keeps Harley on TV, it'll keep Mercedes entertaining outside of the ring. Here to help. Sure.
And if they want to have them feud again, Harley can pick up wins against the Renegade Twins before she faces Mercedes.
Are they any good? Why does Mercedes like them?
Robin is good. I haven't seen Charlotte in a long time.
Okay.
Robin got better as her sister's been out of action.
She's the Nikki to Brie.
Yeah. It's like that, yeah. Because that's what happened with Nikki and Brie, is that Brie was out for a while and Nikki got better when she was away. Up next, we got Will Ospreay, another member that's going to be another competitor that's going to be in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. He's going to be teaming with the man he's facing in the quarterfinals, Kevin the Jet Knight, the newest member of the AEW roster, as they go up against Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Shivani mentions that Christian has a 7-match winning streak in Ring of Honor, despite him taking a loss to Kenny Omega in less than 5 minutes. And he does mention that one of Christian's victories on Ring of Honor was against Kevin the Jet Knight. Ospreay and Christian trade shoulder tackles and kip-ups. Snap Hurricane Rana by Ospreay before he tags in Kevin the Jet Knight, who hit a leaping splash for a 2 count. Double drop kick send Christian and Johnson to the outside, allowing Ospreay and Knight to ramp up the crowd, and they hit beautiful stereo dives. Back inside, Ospreay was very impressed with Kevin the Jet Knight's dive as he looks into the camera, breaking the fourth wall here. Back inside, Johnson tripped up the Jet and giving Christian a chance to hit an enziguri as Ospreay was hit with a spear on the apron before the commercial break. Johnson and Christian controlled the entire break, and when things returned, Knight mounted a comeback. He leaped for a double clothesline attempt, diving for an Ospreay hot tag. Pip Cheerio connected on both men as Ospreay hits his handspring corkscrew kick. Johnson pulled the legs out, allowing Christian to hit his beautiful looking corkscrew dive. 450 double stomp by Christian, but Ospreay countered a suplex attempt on Johnson and hits a stun dog millionaire. Ospreay levels Christian before tagging Kevin the Jet Knight, who ran wild with corner splashes, placed Johnson on Blake's shoulders and hits a massive leaping drop kick. He got that bounce. He's bouncy, leading to Johnson hitting a destroyer on his own partner. Ospreay sent Christian outside and hits a dive to the outside as Kevin the Jet Knight follows things up with a huge springboard lariat for the 1-2-3 to pick up his first official win as an AEW roster member. Post-match, Tony Schiavone gets on the mic and says that the match between Ospreay and Kevin the Jet Knight will take place at Dynasty. So our opening round matchup of the Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament goes down this Sunday. You get Ospreay and Knight shook hands, but Knight pulled Ospreay back in briefly, showing that he's going to be ready for this Sunday. This was a really strong Dynamite debut for Kevin the Jet Knight, looking good with Will Ospreay here before their big matchup on Sunday, and it is official. It is a part of the AEW Dynasty card, which should be a great showcase for Kevin the Jet Knight against arguably the best wrestler in AEW. So, what did you think about this tag team matchup here and the announcement of Ospreay and Knight for this Sunday?
Meh to all this. All right, so you have Kevin Knight, right, who is athletic. He's springy. He's got quick twitch muscle fibers, we'll say. Now, what do? You put him in a ring with Will Ospreay, better version of all that. And then Blake Christian, who did the move of the match with a 450 double stomp. And Kevin Knight is impressive. Why? Again, in a room full of people who can do everything he does already.
Not that drop kick. No one can do that drop kick.
What a good idea. Yeah, like speedballs, whatever the fuck crescent kick. Right. A whole bunch of guys who can do a thing. And it's really impressive how that works. It's like signing a basketball player because he can do a 360 dunk. It's like, well, he's the only guy who can do that dunk. Oh, okay. Well, great signing. Stupid, you're fired.
He's got upside. He's got
that felt slimy. He's got upside. Nigga, you're trying to give me the sign check. I'm not doing that. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm sorry. It's a terrible idea. Jay White's hurt, so I guess to give him a pass. This is Kevin Knight's got the look. He's talented enough, it looks like, but talented in a room full of people who do the same thing you do. Sorry to break the news to you. So unless you're going to start stabbing people with golden scissors, I don't see how this works.
Sorry. He's like, the exception to the rule is Ricochet.
You got to stab people with scissors. That shit wasn't going great for him either. He's got fucking cachet.
Hey, I like Kevin the Jet Knight. I've always liked him. I think that he is a great prospect to sign to AEW. And putting him in there with Ospreay is not a bad idea at all at the pay-per-view to give him like a big showcase matchup on the card. So I like the decision.
About Will Ospreay at all? Aren't you guys constantly saying he should be the face of the company for some reason?
Yeah.
So now he's gonna have another 17-minute Kyle Fletcher match, like that first one he had on Dynamite. Just ran everybody away and wasted everybody's time. Good Lord!
Hey, look where Kyle Fletcher is today.
Yeah, after he shaved his head and fucking put on 20 pounds and cut out all breads, I would assume. Good Lord. It is what it is. Damn.
Hey, Kevin the Jet Knight, he don't have to do that. He's in great shape.
I love that. You really love that. I've never heard somebody say somebody's full name over and over again.
Kevin the Jet Knight. It's like Bret the Hitman Hart. Kevin the Jet Knight.
Like Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg. The ops are backstage as Samoa Joe says that he started this group because he knew the battlefield was changing and he knew he'd need to switch up his arsenal. Come Dynasty, he, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata will be in the building and watching and seeing all. Don't let them catch you lacking. This is what everything you said about the MVP, MJF, and Bobby Lashley segment. That's how I felt about this segment. This segment did not need to happen. I didn't learn any new information. They didn't say they coming for the trios titles or nothing. They just say they watching the show.
He's trying to keep the streak going if he could put a star in every single segment. We had Moxley and Swerve, and then we had Tony Storm, then we had MJF. What was after that? Was that this match with Ospreay? No, Mercedes. Then we had Ospreay. So we got to keep the streak going with Samoa Joe. And now we're going to see what happens after that. This was, yes, a wasted right step. Sorry.
Next up, we got Brody King in action. He's going one-on-one with Lance Archer.
Oh, damn,
Don.
Fair enough.
Don Callis had words with a fan who is cosplaying as him in the front row. This is second week in a row that this has been a thing. Maybe it's going to continue. Archer and King wasted no time trading heavy shots, lariats going back and forth. Archer hit a clothesline over the top rope to the outside. Callis says that they're playing the long game as he wants Archer to win tonight, but this is about softening up King for Takeshita in the Owen Hart Cup. I love Don Callis always adds a story reason to his matchups on commentary. He's the best non-wrestler in AEW right now. Archer hit a tumbleweed off the apron, but King battled back with a charging crossbody against the barricade. In the ring, Archer took the referee, allowing Callis to distract King, which Archer followed up with a big boot. We get big F Don Callis chants, probably the loudest this Peoria crowd was throughout the night. Archer and King started brawling around ringside as we go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break, and Archer starts hitting locomotion splashes in the corner, but King answered with a stalling German suplex, running crossbody, and a senton for a 2 count. King charged, but ran into a black hole slam from Archer. That looked impressive. Big choke slam followed up by Archer, only got a 2 count once again. Archer chased referee Paul Turner from the ring. The brief delay allowed Brody to hit a series of corner strikes and then finished off with a cannonball and a wild-looking lariat for a near fall. Archer spun out of a powerbomb attempt, but King was able to catch him with a big old lariat, taking his head off. 1, 2, 3. Brody King picks up a victory ahead of competing against Takeshita in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. That match should probably go down next week, so this has a reason to be on this show instead of it leading into the pay-per-view when they're not going to do the matchup. So, this isn't the best go-home type of segment that I want on my go-home show, but you can at least follow it up by having the King and Takeshita matchup next week, so you had to give them a win here. So I can understand why. What did you think about this? This was a fun hoss fight, though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a good match. Lance Archer in the singles, he ain't winning. But still a good match. Best part of the match, I thought, was best part of all, let's say, I thought was Callis afterwards. That look he had when he was looking at Archer was just like, this nigga. Like that face, like, it's over. I don't know if we kick him off on camera or it happens off camera, but I'm interested. I'm curious. Don Callis was part of all this. So.
He looked like a big boy in the Sorry Miss Jackson video.
Trash.
Sting. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Again. Up next, they went right into our main event matchup, which was Cope going one-on-one with Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders. The fans tried.
Edge of Star in 2025. This is not a main event, I know that much, but Edge of Star. Yeah, sure, I guess.
Yeah, he still got the cachet of stardom, I guess. He got the name value. Well, not the name, because the name is Cope. His name is Cope, but not the name that you would want. But he still is somewhat a star, and he gets the star reaction too. So I'll give him.
He does.
So you get big ovation for him. The crowd was trying to sing his theme song as well. The fans did their best job of that, but things picked up as Claudio made his entrance and they started brawling immediately. There was no creating that magic that was that Grand Slam crowd singing. Castagnoli rushed Cope before the bell as referee Bryce Rensburg waited to get the word from Cope to officially start the matchup. Castagnoli sent Cope into the barricade on the outside, but Cope recovered and launched Castagnoli off the apron into the LED board. As Cope was relentlessly hitting forearms, and then back inside, Cope avoided an uppercut into a backslide. Cope held on to the wrist after the backslide, got a 2 count, and hit multiple lariats, only for Claudio to no-sell it and return the favor with some lariats of his own. Castagnoli went full Mike Tyson, biting the ear of Cope at one point, who ducked a lariat into a sit-out slam. Castagnoli tried recovering on the apron, but Cope charged with a spear through the ropes, landing on the outside. Hard bump for Claudio there. Cope went for another dive, but Claudio caught him with an uppercut mid-air before the commercial break. Claudio hung up Cope throat first on the top rope before heading up to the top rope, only to be cut off by Cope, who followed up with an avalanche bulldog off the top for a reset. Cope wanted an impaler, but Claudio sent Cope into the referee Bryce Rensburg, allowing Castagnoli to get an eye poke, a double stomp, and then the giant swing for 10 revolutions. Only got a 2 count there. Claudio wanted the neutralizer, but Cope spun out and finally hit the impaler for a 2 count. Cope wanted a sunset flip, but Claudio was able to reverse that into a sharpshooter. Cope managed to reverse into the grindhouse, but Claudio got to the ropes into the apron. Cope followed him out there, but he went right into a snap power slam right on the edge of the ring frame. Hard bump there for Cope. Castagnoli launched his opponent over the barricade and then went back into the ring to try to get the count-out victory. Cope was able to break the count, so he hit him with a huge lariat for a 2 count. They traded neutralizer and spear attempts before Claudio hit a leaping springboard uppercut, only for Cope to hit a big boot in midair. Cope followed up. He went for the spear, but Claudio hit him with a pop-up uppercut for a 2 count. Neutralizer also only got a 2 count. A frustrated Claudio grabbed 2 chairs from outside. He wanted to hit a concerto to get his real revenge on Cope, but referee Rice Bensberg ripped the chair from his hands, allowing Cope to hit a low blow, and then he followed up with a spear for the 1-2-3. Cope picks up the victory, gaining momentum for rated FTR ahead of this Sunday. It was announced during the matchup that the other members of the team, we already seen Wheeler versus Dax on Collision. You got Cope versus Claudio here. So this Saturday on Collision, we got to finish the set as we're going to see Pac going one-on-one with Cash Wheeler. What you thought about this one? It started off slow, but I thought it picked up after the commercial break and turned into a good matchup to me. What did you think?
This is an Edge special. Sorry. Yawn. I was bored with most of this until the end, where it got interesting, I suppose. That's not enough to make up for the pain you put me through. I'm so thank you, Ace. I was alone in this. Oh, you too, Fitz. I apologize. I usually skip you because you're just spewing nonsense. This ain't right on mark. I apologize. Yeah, they're just slow. Let's just yawn. Claudio's not the guy. Claudio's a good match guy, but Claudio's a good match guy in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Claudio is not, let's say, start the show type of exciting. He's a bore. And Edge is a bore, and he's a step slower than he was 10 years ago. And a step slower than that when he broke his fucking legs, jumping on top of the cage for no fucking reason. Yawn. Good Lord. I'm sorry. And then he kicks out of this finish. This really was an Edge special. Good Lord. He's just gonna bury the cocksucker on his way out the door. I'm sick. I hate it.
Tell us how you really feel about Cope.
I'm sorry. I used to like Edge. And then he came back from neck injury. Everything it's not an AEW thing. Everything he's done since he broke his neck.
It's been downhill ever since then.
Good Lord. Who would have thought you break your fucking neck and the shit goes sideways? I'm sorry. Yawn. I love that. Well, I don't want to be stick up AEW guy. I hate being that guy. Because there's enough of these cocksuckers around. But enough. A mainstream star. How many of those are on the fucking planet? Cody? Is that the only one who's a Cody in real? Like, what are we talking about? Would you stop?
Yeah, that's a stupid comment.
Macho and Hogan and Austin and Rock. Triple H is not in that fucking category. Like, it's this difficult shit here.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I'm sure you're not.
Yeah, no disrespect. I know what you're trying to do, but you just failed at doing it.
Oh shit, Jesus!
I'm just saying, being real.
What do you do? It's hard. It's not something you can do. I'll put it that way. It's not something you can just do. You can't do it. It's not your call who fucking the mainstream gravitates to.
But I take it that you didn't like this.
No, it was a boring slog between two 50-year-old men. Sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but yawn.
I mean, just a little bit. You do mean to be rude.
I'm just saying. Why is this match here, number one? And why is it on the main event of the show? Cut all this and just give me the Swerve stuff. How about that?
Yeah.
And let's go home on time. How's that? Instead of 10:08 or 10:09 or 10:15.
I know the main event ends. The main event ends at like 10 p.m. on the dot. Like that was when the pinfall happened, and you could have just went home after it, but you already had the Swerve stuff announced. So,
is this me or is this bad? Whatever. Let's say I missed that Swerve promo, right? And this main event ends at 9:59, and all we get is this long shot of Edge leaving. How many people just turned it off because that's the end of the show? 10 o'clock. His match is over. He's leaving. Done.
Oh, Renee Paquette is backstage though, trying once again to get a medical update on Willow Nightingale from Strickland, who is bickering with Prince Nana, who then leaves. Strickland told Renee that no offense, he's looking for her husband. I thought that was offensive. That was a little offensive.
You should ask her. Wouldn't she know?
Then Hangman Adam Page power walks up to Swerve Strickland. He gets into his face and he says that he's wasting his time as security bolts at him. He says that Swerve tells Hangman that he needs to let it go. Page says that he made a promise Swerve would never hold the AEW World Championship again. Swerve tells him to let it go. Page screamed, "You broke into my house." Swerve responded, "You burnt down my house." Swerve, and then Page says, "You deserved it." And Swerve responds, "I know." Hangman's like, wait, hold on. He said, what did you just say to me? He says, "I know. I deserved it." Page takes that admission, and it's like this nigga doesn't know how to process that shit. This nigga just storms off. He is just completely dumbfounded by Swerve saying that. Swerve, he walks away. So then Swerve keeps walking, looking for Moxley and the Death Riders. When Mox and the Death Riders jump him and attack him from behind, Mox then sends Swerve crashing into a glass panel in the backstage area. They then drag Swerve to the ring where Moxley and the Death Riders have a bag full of glass in it. Yuta dumps the bucket of glass into the ring as Claudio then hits Swerve with a Ricola bomb right onto the glass. Moxley gets in Swerve's face. He starts trash talking him before all the Death Riders go through the crowd to leaving Swerve in the ring as Moxley is leading his gang through the crowd. We get Swerve, who rises up like the Undertaker, showing that that's not going to be enough to put him down and keep him down. He starts laughing at Moxley and his crew as Moxley looks somewhat taken aback by Swerve's reaction to this. He says that it basically proved that it will take a lot more than that to keep Swerve down at Dynasty.
I'm with you on the game. You were wrong before. I'm with you now. Fucking eye roll, whatever. Get to it. Just set up like the Undertaker to complete silence, by the way, from the shitty crowd. He's setting up. Nobody cares. Never watching, apparently. What, are they leaving? What's going on there?
They're on their way out. On their way out the door. I thought it was a good go home segment. I like the Swerve and Hangman part of it the most, though. That shit was awesome.
I know. What? The music starts playing. I know.
Yo, but it's fucking Hangman's response of, "What you just say to me?" Like, he said something about his mother. He's like, "What you just say to me?" He's like, "I deserved it." And Hangman's like, "Well, fuck, I don't know how to respond to that. Let me go away." That was so
Camera. So
I love this rivalry is the best.
Ugh. Camera starts slowly panning on Swerve. My whole life, I've always overreacted. I don't know why I take things so personally. Good Lord. This is fucking Roman Reigns has ruined wrestling. What is this? What is this nonsense? Good Lord. In a vacuum, this is fine. Take 90 sitcom. That was what I was thinking. Like, I know. Huh? The music. I know. Sorry, Dad. Shut up. Good Lord. In a vacuum, it's fine. In vacuum, I say it's good. I like the idea of violent psychopath realizing he's taking it a step too far, especially since you can pull it back and say he was just doing this so Hangman wouldn't fuck up his title hunt. Either way, this works, but ill. Sorry. Ill. Like anything, what do you call it? Melodramatic. It just like, I just can't do it. Sorry. Even if it's genuine, and this wasn't genuine, but even if it was genuine, I wouldn't like it. I'll be honest. The Pumpkin Heyman stuff made me cringe too. And that felt very real. I was like, ew. What is
You
this?
hate anything bushy. You hate
Yeah,
anything bushy.
mushy. Like,
I liked Heyman showing love to Punk. I liked it.
Do that shit backstage. I don't do this shit in front of my TV. Nothing doing me. That was my thought. Exactly. Like, I've seen this. I've definitely seen this before. I gotta be honest, I hope it leads to some type of big screw job. Please and thank you. I want it to be like Swerve's about to win. Here come the Death Riders. Here comes we'll say Edge and FTR. Maybe minus Dax. Edge and Cash. And then here comes Hangman to even the odds. And now Swerve's gonna win this fucking belt. And then Nana turns on him.
Nana turns on him. You want
Nana
it to
turns
just
on
be all convoluted.
I want to be like, what the fuck just happened? NWO's finish, huh? Yeah.
And then Nana joins the Death Riders.
No. Oh my god.
He's fucking the Eric Bischoff. He's fucking the DiBiase for the Death Riders.
No, he had his own reasons. What do you want to do is first she's talking to him, which I wouldn't either. Apparently, he's trying to talk sense to this guy. He won't listen. Ended up getting smashed into glass. You fucking idiot. Good job, stupid. Yeah, this was fine. We'll say fine. I know you all loved it. I thought it was fine.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Death Riders part of it, and I love the Hangman part of it. It's good. It adds to the lore.
I can see this because you love the fucking people shit on it now. I shit on it from the beginning. You love that fucking Cody and Roman in the stadium with the music and shit.
I love this. I am the storm, but even the light. I love it. I love this shit. I love melodramatic shit. It's wrestling, guys. It's pro wrestling.
I am the storm.
I am the storm, but I'm the light.
Lord,
I loved Roman and Punk sitting down at the meeting. That was cinematic. I loved it all.
Some mob movie. What is this?
You can't accuse me of not keeping the same energy. You can't accuse me of that. I love all of this.
What the fuck? Writing this.
I love Tony D and the D'Angelo family breaking down each member of Dark State on NXT. I didn't
see it.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Oh, I'm Team Shawn Michaels on this. What is with you wanting Stephanie to lose this fucking belt on her back? Fuck out of here. She's a star. You don't get pinned.
No, there's multiple ways you could have done this. There's multiple ways you could have done this. You could have done WrestleMania 2000, where she defends both titles in a triple threat. Doesn't have to be pinned. Wins the NXT North American Championship. You could have done it like the X Division Championship, where she basically relinquished the title to get the shot at the NXT Championship. There was multiple ways you could have done it instead of, oh, she won, but the general manager, it wasn't hers coming out and saying, like they did with Keith Lee, where Keith Lee was like, I want to give everybody a chance. Here's the title. No, it was the general manager saying, Stephanie's going to relinquish the title to me so we can have a 6-way ladder match. And then Stephanie says, okay, I'll relinquish it if I can choose my opponent. That was lame. It was lame.
I didn't know about the rest of that. But I'm fine with
it. Was lame booking. It was lame.
That's what it should be. Like fucking real life. You don't get to be the welterweight champion and the lightweight champion. That's not how that works. You got to pick a belt. Which one are you going to keep?
And it adds to her aura, her being the fighting champion that's basically has to defend 2 titles.
Listen,
instead of just doing it for 1 week, and that's it.
That's my problem with it. I don't like that it happened the next week. I would have her defend both for 3 months, and then she gets more and more tired. Says, I can't fucking do this. This is insane.
I'd rather that. That sounds much better than what they did.
Yeah.
It was dumb. It was stupid. Keep the same energy. Okay, I said this shit when Keith Lee did it. What was that, 4 or 5 years ago? And I'm gonna say the same shit when Stephanie do it. It's dumb. Don't do the match in the first place. Anyway, that too. That's another way to not do it. But
Lee's hurt, ain't she? They said she's not taking part in drills or whatever.
I've heard too many conflicting stories because every time a report comes out that she's hurt, WWE has someone report, oh no, she's not hurt. It's the same shit they did with Jay Cargill. They stay doing this shit. They don't want to admit when someone's hurt or not, it seems like.
Well, I say she hurt. That just makes sense to me. I'm sorry. You don't do that match if she's not hurt.
Agreed. All right, we've come to the end of AEW, our AEWramble this week. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up on the video. And, of course, final call for Super Chat donations. And, as always, let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give this week's show? For me and Jimmy, for the April 2nd, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give this week's show?
I'm gonna give it a 7, which is 7? Yeah, 7, which is passing, though nothing to brag about. It's outside my brag range of 7.5 to 8.5. Nothing here really impressed me. Everything was fine or interesting, but I can't say anything here was great. Everything was fine.
That's fair. Yeah, the last couple of weeks have been way stronger. Thumbs up shows, anywhere between 7.5 to 8.5 from me. I was leaning like 7.5. I'm always a half a point higher than you, so I'll go 7.5 for this week's show. I did really enjoy the closing angle. I thought it was a good way to kind of give a nice little exclamation point for Moxley and Swerve. But it makes me think Swerve has a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. They're telling me there's a chance. I want to hear from you very quickly. Your before we give into everything else for the show, Swerve, Moxley this Sunday. Who wins?
I'm now on the bandwagon that Swerve should win. He's got some type of momentum here with his popularity, it appears. Again, like the second or third time he's peaked in popularity. However, I'm going with Moxley. Moxley wins.
After last night's show, I go with the rule. Whoever stood tall on the go-home show, they lose at the pay-per-view. Moxley did technically stand tall. So
Very technically.
I'm going with
Very technically.
Timeless Tony Storm versus, but that's the only one I'll give now. I'll give the rest of my predictions for Dynasty tomorrow on the preview with Maggie and Jay News. But Jimmy, Timeless Tony Storm versus Megan Bayne.
Tony Storm.
Will Ospreay versus Kevin the Jet Knight.
Will Ospreay in 20 minutes.
Well, Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart.
Mercedes.
The Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Tree.
Holy shit! The more you talk, this is not a very good card. The Hurt Syndicate.
Rated FTR versus the Death Riders.
The Death Riders. This stinks. What the fuck is this? Blew their load on the last show. What the fuck?
Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia, TNT Championship.
Wow, this one is actually I don't know and also don't care. Let's go with Cole. That makes more sense to me.
And I think the last one is Kenny Omega versus Speedball Mike Bailey versus Ricochet for the International Championship.
Only good match on the fucking card. Sure. Let's go with Kenny Omega. Yeah, thank you. This is a terrible card. Star Power.
This is the issue with doing monthly pay-per-views. They blew their load on Revolution, and now they got to do 4 weeks later.
I just think it does 4.5 matches. Gotta save them.
Exactly. I think, but it hasn't been announced yet. But I'm thinking that it's going to be added. Chris Jericho versus Bandito, Mask versus title.
Let's go Bandito.
All right. Well, we got his predictions here. Who was your match of the night for this week's Dynamite?
Who cares? Nobody. Nobody was a match of the night. MJF and MVP. You're welcome.
Promo of the night.
Promos are more
match
important.
Of the night. Match of the night, I'm going to go with the tornado tag. Promo
Really?
of the night.
I can't do it. I got to pick a match of the night then. You can't Willow almost get murdered and that's the match of the night. That's not how that works. You know what? Never mind. The rest of those matches stunk. I hate those fucking matches. So yeah, let's go with that. Apologies, Willow.
I love that. Chase says SmackDown 03 pay-per-view is Dynasty.
Damn, I go 04. This is fucking Kenzo Suzuki and Mordecai and them. Undertaker versus the Tubby Boys ass fucking pay-per-view. What is this?
No, it ain't Great American Bash 04. That's one of the worst shows ever. Who's your MVP?
Ooh, this is gonna be wild since it's just a face. I'm going with Don Callis. This is the most interesting I've ever fucking found anything on the show. So, what's that about? Callis.
I'm gonna go with Swerve for MVP. Then LVP for the show.
Shit. You know what? The fucking Lance Archer. Poor bastard. Sorry, Charlie.
Don Callis was disappointed in you. Yeah, I'll go with Lance Archer as well. Keep it simple. Jimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media when they will see you again.
At Jimmy Macram, you'll see me again here fucking next week. Because I don't have any options. This is like therapy. I just have to do it. If I'm going to watch the show, I've got to do this. It's the way that works. And vice versa. Yeah.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat, Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content, the best place to support us when we are not live here. And of course, I'll be live tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern time with our AEW Dynasty preview and predictions. Myself, Jay News, and Maggie should be a good time. So join us live for that. But
Chase, do you watch Power? I'm sorry, I have to ask before we go off. Chase, do you watch Power? I feel like a very ghost line. Lance Archer pushing 50, you do nothing but lose. It just feels very ghosty. Pushing 50, do nothing but lose. Come on, Tariq.
It does. Nothing to lose, Tariq. For Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 192. You deserved it. I know. Next time.
Whoa! Tomatoes. Me and Brett think this thing.